Hello everybody and welcome to the KRONOS Galaxy. This is a new narrative-driven campaign of Stellaris where 14 players will be assigned a custom and unique race and try to complete a series of objectives to push their narrative further. The galaxy has been modded and edited to allow our 14 players to have a more unique start, and each one a different challenge. If you're interested in checking this out, I'll be live streaming it on Twitch this weekend. I'm not sure yet if it's going to go up on YouTube later, but if you do want to catch it later, it's available as a past broadcast on Twitch after the fact. Okay, so let's take a look at the empires. First, we have the Pulu species of the Glow. The Pulu have a deeply spiritual connection to their home of Meridium, a world with a delicately balanced ecosystem where the plant life both consumes and produces a unique gaseous byproduct of which 87% of the atmosphere is made up of. These thick bioclouds harbor nutrients and moisture, fertilizing and feeding all plant life around the world. The Pulu have rather globally come to believe that their planet was chosen by a divine power who blessed their world with life. Ancient texts have recounted that during the war in heaven, 4 gods each blessed the world, enshrouding it from outside view in order to protect it. The gods now speak to the Pulu through the irregular pulsating glow of the plant life. Perhaps if the other worlds could be found, then the gods could be reunited and the prophecy fully realized. So the Glow are run as a divine empire. They're fanatically spiritual and their main objectives are to find all 4 blessed worlds. As they do, they're going to receive stronger and stronger buffs for each planet, unifying them more. Next we have the Haitian of Turanian Republic. On their tidally locked homeworld of Tyrene, there is no night and day. Instead, there is vast desert and ice sheets that cover the majority of the planet. In the central habitable band, where most of the planet's life can be found, the Haitian have evolved to be accustomed to this eternal day. Unified by centralized government made up of many ancient royal families and their vast estates, political turmoil is commonplace as the nobility vie for power while the people have little say. As a result of this, the Haitian have the sleepless trait, meaning that they get an extra benefit to job output. Their government is also unique as they have the aristocratic Senate, which keeps their rulers very happy, but their workers quite unhappy. Next we have the 4 Patharian empires. The Patharian story began on their homeworld of Denethor. Denethor is a mesa world without much in the way of natural fertility. As the population grew and natural food supplies became harder to come by, the Patharians looked to colonize other nearby planets of suitable habitability. The first successful colonization was Basara, a desert world which wasn't exactly the perfect fit. It still had good agricultural potential due to great rivers and an abundance of minerals deep below the surface. Due to the egalitarian nature of the Patharians, a semi-autonomous government was installed that would feed back supplies to the capital, while the capital supplied energy and manpower back to Basara. The Patharian Council was then established, which gave a large share of seats to the Patharian Basara, so they could have leverage over the government and provide a say in how their new planet was treated. Now, over the next 80 years, the capital funded 3 new expeditions, 2 of which were completed successfully. The first reached the energy-rich world of Dranas, the second reached the agricultural-rich world of Barentu. Both were given local autonomy and provided their excess back to the capital in exchange for seats on the council. However, as the council grew with new colonies, less power was shared between them. Basara was now in upheaval, energy and manpower supplies had slowed significantly, and their power on the council was dwindling and counted for less than 20%. This meant their demands for more resources and proposals for expansion were blocked by the council or the other colonies. Basara's scientists had discovered a more suitable planet beyond their system, a mesa world which would allow them to not rely on the dwindling efforts of the council. With this world they could be truly autonomous. And after the council refused expansion, Saram Divikai, the Basara Prime Minister, ordered the building of a new colony ship in secret and funded expedition to the new world. During colonization, scientists discovered a unique life form that feeds off of minerals. They reverse engineered the life form to allow integration with Patharian biochemistry and supplied it to all colonists, creating the very first Patharian symbiotes. This unique modification allowed minerals to be processed as food in small quantities, largely solving the agricultural problem that they had faced. Saram Divikai became a champion of the people for her efforts and was granted a term for life in power. The new planet was named Divakiyama in her honor, and the people of Basara voted to leave the council for full independence. Expecting a conflict, Sarum refocused all government efforts on the military. Still hoping for a peaceful conclusion, she called upon the council where she announced what was accomplished in the previous years and requested that the will of the people to be recognized as independent be granted. The Patharian Council refused, deeming the colonization illegal and the genetic modification as immoral. This was now a civil war, and the council would attempt to bring the newly formed Divokai Empire under control. The next empire to look at is the mysterious Archive Custodians. The Archive Custodians are a machine race built for one purpose: to protect the Archive, a purpose-built, planetary-sized supercomputer with extremely rare technologies and information on it. The Custodians had laid dormant on a nearby machine world for millennia, but a recently detected galactic disturbance has activated their defense protocols. Now they must actively protect the Archive at any cost and, if possible, secure several unique species to add to the Archive's vault. Next we have the Vulcan Empire. The Chemon species of Volca have adapted to withstand the extremely harsh conditions of their glacial world. The Chemon have large hulking bodies that allows them to conserve heat, but even that isn't enough during Volca's chilling winters. To survive, the Chemon have established large ice tunnels throughout the generations, where they would retreat to during the winter months and hibernate. Even now, with modern technology and society, the hibernation process is still part of their biological makeup. During these months, the Chemon operate much less efficiently, but it has made them extremely adaptable and resilient as a species. Around 50 years ago, fast and light travel was achieved and the Vulcan Empire established as a dictatorial regime with several influential barons influencing the government. The first Vulcan colony has recently been established at Ligura, and the Chemon look to expand their empire peacefully if possible, creating a vast network of frozen worlds to exploit. Next we have the megacorporation of Dawn. Dawn Company is the name given to the species of the Dendrakian, a small insect-like creature that has taken control and industrialized Tritus' Secret, a crystal world rich in Asian crystal. The crystal acts as a healing property for most biological species, encouraging the repair and growth of cells, as well as acting as an aphrodisiac, increasing pop growth when activated. Little else is understood about the Dendrakian or where they've come from. Their motives are unclear, but they are here to do business. The next empires to look at are the Turanian Republic and the Turanian Energy Vault. The Turanii of Taria have long been exploring space and operating across vast distances of the galaxy. They have a militarized version of democracy with an entrenched nobility in their senate. One colony, the steppe world of Kobaria, became increasingly wealthy, and the ruling senators there gained unprecedented leverage over the Republic. They bankrolled the First Dersian War, which rapidly expanded the Republic's holdings, enslaving the entire Dersian species. However, about 1 year ago, the Dersians coordinated a massive rebellion, turning on their masters, killing and enslaving them. During this time, the Turanii Energy Vault was granted emergency powers of autonomy so that they can allocate resources to amassing their own fleet in aid of the Republic. The Dersians have adopted some aspects of the militarist government from their former master, but are now in active rebellion. Grand Marshal Rethan has declared a war of liberation, hoping to free every Dersian slave from Turanian planets and destroy the Turanii in the process. Lastly, we have two more empires: the Volare Eradicators and the Takari Protectors. These two empires have come from the future, sent back in time to destroy or protect a key planet in their future conflict. In order to find the exact location of the planet now, they need to study key locations in order to map the galaxy correctly and reveal the correct one. Or they could take control of the archive world that the Custodians guard. Once discovered, the Volare will need to crack the world with a Colossus weapon, and the Takari will need to shield the world with a Colossus weapon. They both have future technologies and a great boon to scientific research. Their achievements will decide the fate of the galaxy. And that is basically it for all the empires in our galaxy. Each empire will have their own set of objectives that, if they complete, will net them rewards in-game. Some range from resource boosts to new technologies and even ascension perks, so they can be definitely worth doing. Now, on top of all that, we're running some tweaks to how the game plays, not only the government civics and traits that you saw, but also large balance changes. Now, when you run out of energy, you're going to receive a warning that you're about to enter into a fiscal collapse. If you don't recover that month by selling your assets or fixing whatever the issue was, you will then enter into rationing. Now, rationing is a severely punishing state where your ship's fire rates and shields operate at 50%, and your planets reduce their build speed and happiness. Edicts will also cost more, as will the market fee. This lasts for 5 years. It's a tough one to pull yourself out of. You do not want to enter rationing. The next change is that planet habitability now directly affects pop happiness. For every 4% drop in habitability, 1% happiness is removed from pops. This happiness will then affect stability, and stability's negatives have become much more severe. Now at 50% stability, the effect on your planet isn't noticeable. The planet is stable. For every 1% below 50% stability, you lose 2% worker output. So what this means is that when you reach 0% stability, your planet produces nothing. Playing with planet diversity will also mean that you encounter much less habitable worlds that will suit you perfectly, and it's much more of a challenge to balance your planet as the effects are now very severe. This makes habitability technologies much more powerful, and also machines. Now, to counter the machines advantage here somewhat, we've halved the pop growth rate of machines. And that's essentially it. This is going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch, and as I said, it will be this weekend. Now, I love doing these, but they do take a tremendous amount of time. There's just no getting around it. I go absent on my channel for weeks at a time. I've got other games that I'm supposed to be covering, and I just don't have time because I'm investing so much into creating the lore, creating the galaxy, testing it, editing the galaxy, conversing with modders, coming up with ideas of how maybe we could solve some issues that we see crop up in the multiplayer games, all of that stuff. I'd love to be able to have the support so that I could just dedicate time for other people to kind of put it together, and I'll just have a kind of a side hand in it. That would be amazing. So it's up to you guys, basically. If you like this kind of thing, please show some support by coming out and watching over on Twitch. Maybe even subscribing on Twitch would be amazing, or donating on Patreon really shows me where people want the focus to be. It would really help me achieve better things and bigger things with these games and keep them going. You know, we've run 15 of these games so far and 2 narrative games, and I'd love to be able to continue them in future. And I'd love to be able to support the modders a little bit more than I do by, you know, supporting the modders that we use mods for, and also getting our own custom mods made like we have this game from Starship. And basically the support that we get, you know, some of it is going to go to those guys, and the more the better, because we can get more modders in and make it even more unique. And that's pretty much it. So signups are going to be based on priority. If you're a Twitch sub already or a Patreon already, you have automatic priority. But if you're not a paying member, then if you're just basically active on our Discord, you could get chosen as well. That's where we draw a lot of people from, actually. It's just from the wide pool of people on our Discord. All the info is going to be in the description and over on my website, therepublicofplay.com/Stellaris. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon.